I just got your nope in Twitter.
Yeah.
Do what?
Talking to John.
Oh.
All right, give me a second. Facebook Live takes forever to set up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we are gone. We're live. Need to add a title. Hang on a second.
How's it going, John?
Oh, you know, living the dream.
Have a good birthday?
Yeah, wasn't bad.
There it goes.
Ooh.
All right, Kenny, nice shirt.
Thank you.
So, while this is going live, as you all know, and as you are aware, we have a little thing called the draft this week.
Yes, we did.
And I'm assuming that's pretty much the topic of discussion for the majority of the show. And I did watch Thursday night. I don't know if you guys did, but I watched Thursday night. I did not watch Friday or Saturday because I normally don't watch later rounds. But I did watch Thursday night. And I'll tell you, with what they had to go through, what they had to do as far as the setup is concerned, I was pretty impressed with how it came out. I don't know about you guys, but I was very impressed with how they pulled it off. How Goodell was in, he was embracing the boo. He still managed to get the booze in with the video screen. He embraced all that crap. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought the interesting part about it for me was looking at the interior of these coaches' homes and general managers' homes and how these homes inside. The oddest one of all night was, of course, the guy in Tennessee with what was going on behind him. I have no idea what that was all about.
It was awesome.
But for the most part, the NFL pulled off a show, and it was impressive. I was very impressed with how they did it. Very impressed. And ESPN, I watched ESPN, of course, and I mean, Trey did a good job as far as getting things going on and balancing the interviews and topics and stuff. I thought he did a great job as well. So I was very impressed with the whole production as far from the NFL side as well and the ESPN side of the whole thing.
I watched all 3 nights, Thursday, Friday night, and Saturday afternoon. And, for the most part, I think you're absolutely right. In fact, I would not be at all surprised to see at least a form of this from now on. It's supposed to be in Cleveland next year and Las Vegas in 2022.
Right, Vegas because they couldn't get it this year. Right. NFL gave it to them in 2022 to make up for the lost year this year. It will be in Cleveland next year, which is going to be great because the Browns fans are just insane. It's going to be fun.
Are they going to have that at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I don't know where they're going to have it. They may have it at Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it's right next door to where the stadium is. The stadium is right next door to it, to the west. But it's possible. I don't know how they're going to set it up.
I think probably what you're going to see is definitely a Thursday night live thing with the friends. Friday night, very possibly, and then Saturday probably switch to the remote picks and everything. So
yeah, at least a portion of it could be done that way, I would think.
Yeah, I think the Saturday definitely all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So, Goodell. Yeah, I like a bit of what he was doing. I mean, playing to the crowd. It got a little bit old after a while. I would like to have seen him just do a little bit more serious business rather than entertaining. But as far as everything else is concerned, I think they did a super job.
Yeah.
The one venue that I had probably the most amusement from was Jerry Jones' yacht.
Yes, $250 million yacht.
Jerry, did you see the movie Fool's Gold?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right. In that movie, Donald Sutherland plays a millionaire that has a yacht, and Jerry kind of reminded me of him for a little bit. But he was Jerry was Jerry this
Yeah.
weekend. I mean, he had his daughter and his granddaughter pretty much manning the phone for him,
Right.
controlling his live line. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, I thought everything went smoothly, and I got no complaints about this weekend whatsoever.
Well, of course, you made out you got some pretty good players too in the draft in Dallas.
I had
So
I had a pretty decent grade.
it's one of Jerry's best drafts in years. I mean, it really is.
So I hope so.
Yeah. So I mean, what was that? What was there? There was a number one pick. I want to say D something. I don't know. But
That was
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
He was a playmaker
Yes.
in Oklahoma, and he's gonna be and they're saying that to put him in a slot. I can foresee him being a wide, going to that second wideout position.
Definitely.
As opposed to being a slot receiver.
What I'd like to see him do is maybe run some punts back.
That too. Yes.
I think you can handle that quite well. We've needed one for quite a while. So,
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to see him in that role. But CeeDee Lamb is definite big time pick for us. So.
Well, John, you didn't have a first round draft pick this year because you got.
What are you talking about? We got Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs was your first round draft pick.
The 22nd overall pick.
Yes,
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, so you should be happy with that.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, listening to you guys, we don't get ESPN up here, and to be brutally honest with you, I didn't even watch a single second of it. I was on Twitter most of the time.
Right.
There was a few times I could cut into the live streams here and there, but they were all like pirated streams, and they get shut down, and then you'd have to go find another one. And it was just like, for what they had to go through, it was fine. It's just there was something for me missing, obviously, not having a first round pick, and then the whole, the way they did it. It was fine. It's just there was something about it that didn't get me as.
Well, and again, it's not as exciting as if it's live from where like last year in Nashville was phenomenal because there was over the course of 3 days there were 600,000 people that came to the draft in those 3 days, and of course nothing's going to replace the live draft, actually being there, seeing the players in the green room, so to speak, and off the side, and then coming on the stage and doing the hug and handshake with Goodell, and then getting the interviews afterwards. But again, because of the times. Unfortunately, this is the way they had to go, and from what they had to work with, they did a phenomenal job. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that every year because I like the experience and the spectacle of the draft every year, like I'm sure you guys do too. But I wouldn't want to see that every year. Maybe in the later rounds have something like that, but not the first night. You got to have that. You got to have that pomp and circumstance for the first 32 players picked on in the draft every year. You just got to have it.
I think you go first 2 nights live like that, and then go to the like I said.
Yeah, this is the 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th round on Saturday would be the way to go.
Nobody cares much about those
because nobody cares about those rounds. Because don't get me wrong, Brady was 299 overall, but you're not 9 times out of 10. The guys you're going to see in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, they're going to. It's a hit or miss whether or not they make the roster or not after training camp. So,
the one that surprised me, and John, you'll be interested in this, is Jake Fromm. I could not believe he dropped as far down as he did.
Who ended up picking him finally? I didn't see that.
Buffalo.
Buffalo got him. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I said John would be interested. From what I'm hearing, he must have had a very bad combine, and I can't think of any other reason why he would have fallen all the way down to 5th round. Because Jake.
We got him in the 4th or 5th round, didn't we?
It was what?
4th or 5th round?
5th round for us.
5th round, I believe. Yeah. He dropped all the way into the 200s.
And the Patriots did not pick a quarterback in the draft. They didn't get a quarterback, as far as I know.
Who?
The Patriots didn't pick.
No, they didn't. No, apparently they picked some white supremacist kicker, though. That's the rumors. It's like, can't make this stuff up, man.
And the highlight of that, another one of the highlight of the night was was the camera on Bill Belichick's dog at the dining room table.
Yeah.
Oh, will this team just disappear forever, please? Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Don't
everybody.
worry, I'll acknowledge everybody that came because I know Scott doesn't.
I'm
or
sorry.
he doesn't talk about his show the entire week. But hey, hi, everybody. Thanks for coming
Katie,
by.
Myra, Jamal, Jen,
Well,
hello. Welcome to the show. I do see you there. I apologize.
I can't see anybody, so.
I got to stop being so fucking lazy. That's all it is. Because I know, John just gives me shit every week, and I don't do anything. I don't do anything to alleviate that and prevent him from doing it.
And all week,
it's on me.
You're on Twitter tweeting to some Cleveland Browns fan people. Like, I mean, that's, it's just like, I sit there and I see it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. I mean, holy crap. I mean, just, I feel guilty if I'm tweeting too much about Hive and not enough about CTP.
Right. Because that's your business. Because you got to. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, dude, I mean, just don't hold back. I don't know why. You got a switch in your head or something.
There's something going on in there. I don't know.
Switch it, man. Start promoting.
And I'm trying to grow out the beard, in case you can't tell. I'm trying to grow it out. It's going to come in all gray, which I'm disappointed in, but that's okay.
This was me ranting on behalf of Elliot because he's not here, but in spirit, I'm ranting with him.
Yeah, we get Elliot's out. We only got 3 tonight because Bob can't make it tonight. Elliot's down with some health issues that he could not make it tonight.
John's a substitute chop bomb.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Exactly. He wants other people to do it. That's fine.
Thank you, Katie. I love you too. Yes.
But yeah, going back to the draft on the Buffalo side of thing. I mean, we didn't have the first round pick, but I mean, apparently AJ is legit, and we got a nice little edge rusher.
Right.
Again, you guys know how much I watch college ball.
None,
so
zero
when I hear everybody excited, was that sorry?
And you don't know anything about these guys, dude, coming in.
No, I don't know. I don't know a single thing. So, if all the experts say they're great, cool. I'm happy.
Yes.
Hold on, my kid just woke up from a nap. Just give me 1 second, then I'll continue the.
Okay.
Hold on.
So
tell me, how did you feel about the Browns?
Well, I liked the first couple. I liked the first 2 picks. The Jedrick Wills is a stud. I'm excited. They're going to put him at left tackle. Traditionally, he's been right tackle, but under the tutelage of who they got working with the defense, the offensive line and stuff, because they've got the offensive line coach. His name escaped me for whatever reason. I don't know, but he's an excellent offensive line coach. They're going to move him over to left tackle to protect Baker's blind side. And then, of course, we got safety help and Grant Delpit from LSU. LSU had a great night. They had 14 picks in the draft overall. 14 players from LSU got drafted.
I had picked on one of the games. I had picked Alabama to have the most first round picks, and got all the way down to the end, and the last guy that was picked was LSU, and that broke the tie. So
yeah, LSU broke all records. I mean, the SEC broke all records as far as how many teams, how many kids from the SEC got drafted. Yes. Nice, Jen. But anyway, and then of course, we picked up the defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, and a linebacker again from LSU, Jacob Phillips. We did draft a tight end later in as far as Harrison Bryant in the 4th round, in the 5th round we got Nick Harris, who's an offensive lineman from Washington, and the 6th round we got a wide receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones.
You will like him.
Overall, I'm pleased. I mean, it's not a stellar draft like last year's draft was great. Okay. But this year, I mean, I'm pleased. And the new regime, the new coaching staff, the new GM, the whole 9 yards, they were all on the same page and what they wanted to go for and what they wanted to get. And that's something the Browns haven't seen in years. So, I like the fact they went out and got Baker some protection for Baker. They got some defensive help, which they also needed in the secondary. So we'll see how it works out. I mean, it's these guys won't pan out for a couple of years, but it's a good start. Hey, Sean.
I
think everyone across the board had a pretty decent draft. I mean, I didn't see anybody who was absolutely.
Even the Bengals had a good draft. It wasn't just Burrow that Bengals got. They got some good players too.
Yeah,
you know.
Did.
Yeah. Again, you guys will know more about any of these draft guys that we got, but everybody seems to say the Bills did fine. So yay, go Buffalo.
You know what? You're the presumptive favorite to win the division already, and before the draft, John. So I mean.
Well, the AJ kid, Shaq Lawson was the what do you want to do? Do you want to get this kid who's potentially was supposed to be a first round talent, or do you want to go and pay Shaq Lawson like $30 million? It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Shaq Lawson goes and signs with Miami, which you never fault the guys for like getting money, but holy crap, dude! I mean, don't go to a divisional rival. Like it's just.
It just makes the Buffalo. It just makes the Bills Mafia hate him even more because he went to Miami.
Well, yeah, but the Mafia is very. Let's be brutally honest. I'm a beloved member of it, and I wave the flag wherever I go. I'm even getting a T-shirt that has the Bills Mafia logo on it.
Yes,
but
cool.
We are not. There's certain people we don't like with a passion, but then there's like the kids that are like Shaq Lawson, where it's like. Oh, go get your money, man. It's like, I don't fault him for going and get the money he got. Oh, good. Can we talk about the Packers draft? I can't wait, Katie.
Yeah, I can't. We're going to get there. Katie brought up a great point, and we're going to bring that up. Yes, absolutely.
But just, the Buffalo thing, I love the running back in the third round because that gives you a 1-2 punch. Even if Yeldon doesn't work out, it would have been great to get Fournette, but I doubt that's going to be going forward now.
I don't know what's up with Fournette. I don't know what Jacksonville's going to do with him.
He's screwed, man.
He's not all there up top either.
Yeah, it's just shut up and play your game, man.
Yeah,
I don't see him playing for Jacksonville next year. That's for sure.
I don't see him playing much anywhere next year.
That's possible.
Because I'll tell you what, he hasn't because of his injury issues. He hasn't proven he's a durable back. He hasn't proven he can run between the tackles. So,
true.
He was highly touted out of college. He was a great college player, and when healthy and he's doing what he's supposed to do, he could be an asset to any team out there. But ever since he's been in the NFL, he's been hurt. He's had attitude issues. He's sticking his foot in his mouth almost every other weekend, and no team wants to deal with that crap. Are you kidding me? Come on.
He's almost
Unless
a rebel
Jerry Jones.
Dog. I don't think Jerry will touch him. That's saying something.
So, all right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, Katie brings up a good point. So the Packers take Utah State quarterback, what's his face?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love as their number one pick in the first round.
First round.
Hold it. Not only that, they traded up to get him.
They traded up to get him.
That's right.
Okay. And shades of what happened with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre back in 2005 when Aaron was drafted.
Exactly.
Okay. Brett Favre was 35 at the time. Aaron Rodgers is 36. So it's the same scenario. It's a different coaching staff, but it's the same situation. Okay. And then they draft a running back in the second round, which they don't need because they got Aaron Jones. Go figure. Katie, come on. You got to be going crazy with the way the Packers drafted this year. I mean,
This is
Rodgers did drop it. Yes, to Katie's credit, Rodgers did drop in that draft because he should have gone sooner than he did. But still, the Packers went actually traded up to get this kid, and it's just I don't know.
Awesome.
I saw this on YouTube a little while ago. I was watching Pardon the Interruption, Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon. Tony Kornheiser makes a big point here. The reason this happened is because the Packers do not have an owner. Because if they had an owner, this would have never happened, I don't think. The fact that they're
owned by their shareholders, correct? Yes,
exactly. They don't have a chief owner, and if they did, I'm not sure this would happen. Aaron's got 4 more years left in this contract.
Yes,
and I'm thinking everybody's saying that Jordan Love is going to sit for 2 years and then we'll wait and see what happens with there. And I do not foresee him asking for a trade. I don't think he's that crazy.
Right.
Certainly don't see him going to the Bears. a lot of people saying the Bears want him. I don't think so. But I think they may have done this to kind of light a little bit of a fire under him, because there's still a kind of a sour taste in their mouth of how they bowed out against the 49ers.
Well, not only that, but they mentioned this on ESPN. They were one game away from the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, but that one game is what left the sour taste in the mouth, because they.
But was it Rodgers' fault?
No, it's not. It wasn't his fault.
It was the defense.
First half it was, but second half, I mean,
the defense is where the Packers have, or is the Packers' Achilles heel right now. It's the defense.
Defense, exactly. I mean, the defense let the 49ers walk all over him in the first half, and he tried. In his defense, he couldn't do as much as he'd like to in the first half, because the 49ers were on the field the entire time.
Right.
He tried his best to get him back in the second half, but it was way too late.
Yeah.
Too much too late.
Katie brings up the point that Wolf did an outstanding job with the Packers and built things when he was the GM of the Packers. Right. Let me just say this. Okay. The Packers have had 2 franchise quarterbacks in the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They have 2 Super Bowl championships because of it. They've gone to 3. Okay.
Right.
Brett Favre won 1, lost 1, and then Rodgers won his.
Yep.
Okay. With 2 franchise quarterbacks the caliber of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, there's no excuse why they should not have more than 2 championships.
That's true. But, well, the fact is, Favre should have 2 championships, because the fact is, Packers should have beaten the Broncos.
Packers should have beat the Broncos. I agree. Yes.
But, they let that one get away, and that should have been their 6th title right there.
Right. But I do agree that the Packers should have gone wide receiver in the first round and not quarterback. There would have been time in later rounds to pick up another quarterback. But I guess the GM was so high on this kid, and the head coach was so high on this kid, that's why they drafted him. But you're not giving Rodgers any help. You're not doing that. Okay.
They didn't help themselves in the offensive line much either. I don't think.
Right.
I don't know.
So this was a draft to do it for wide receivers.
Yeah, this is a wide receiver heavy and an offensive lineman heavy draft. Yeah.
This year, there was no excuse for not getting a receiver this time. But,
well, they didn't they? In later rounds, didn't they?
They did later rounds, yeah, but
they big ones. No.
They wasted an opportunity in the first round to pick up a number 1 wide receiver. They didn't do it.
Yeah, and I get it, but I'll say this. Very rarely, it's not a sure bet that a first round wideout becomes the first round wideout that you're drafting. That draft position is to be. Look at some of the greatest wideouts in history. They were never first round picks. I mean, what was Antonio Brown? Wasn't he like a 6th round pick or something?
Something like that. Some of them were free agents.
Yeah, some of them were free. So it's I get it. They needed to really address that. But at the same time, just because you didn't get a guy in the first round doesn't mean he's not going to be a home run hitter.
Right.
So.
Well, didn't Randy Moss drop? I mean, I think he was still a first round, but he dropped because of his off-field issues when he was drafted.
Right. Yeah.
I'll check. I don't know.
Marshall. He went to Marshall.
For sure. He started out at Florida State, got in trouble, and pretty much got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
He transferred to Marshall.
21st overall.
21st overall. I mean, in a town like that, he should have gone higher.
But Randy Moss is top 3 of all time.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's an outlier. That's but I'm talking about what was I don't even know what Devontae Adams. What's he? I don't even know. What let's talk.
Devontae Adams a free agent.
Was he unsigned free agent?
Unsigned free agent, right?
Undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, he was second round, 53rd.
Okay. I mean,
53rd overall. Yeah. So again,
who was I seeing that they were talking about? Because there was a significant one not too terribly long ago that was an undrafted free agent. And
well, I'm just going to go through the top receivers right now in the league. I'm just going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to go Michael Thomas right now. see where he was. He was second round too.
Second
I
round.
mean, so, and then I look at the first round guys that, I don't know, the Buffalo Bills blew it, traded up with the Cleveland Browns and take, fourth overall. Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
How did he do? I mean, it's not a for sure thing. Even this is what's really intriguing about the NFL draft to me. And going with what Scott said about the later rounds are kind of like whatever. They are kind of like whatever, but you get those kids that get that chip on their shoulder because they weren't first or second round picks.
Right.
And they seem to work that much harder and then turn into these really good players. So that's what's cool about the NFL draft. You don't have to have a first round pick to have a really good draft. Thanks for listening.
I wasn't as surprised the Packers picked up Love as I was them trading up to get him. I don't know. I guess they were afraid he wasn't going to be available. The Cowboys didn't draft a quarterback until the last round, 7th round, and then got a kid from James Madison, and one that McCarthy had some kind of connection with. So I don't know. I mean, I think they're trying to light a fire for some reason under Rodgers, and this may come back and backfire on him. I don't know, but if they can get him some kind of protection and not have him run around all the time, get flushed out, he's still got a good, decent at least 3 years left. I'm not sure he's going to still be playing at 40. I know they've said he wants to, but Rodgers tends to, change his mind pretty quick sometimes. So I'll kind of tap the brakes on that one a little bit. But he's definitely got a good 2 or 3 years left if they can protect him.
Yeah, Katie makes some good points. I mean, she's been very vocal about this on Facebook. The Packers have made a science of converting late round wide receivers into stud receivers, but that's a chicken or the egg situation about how much is that the talent of the quarterback getting to, or and also that's why people always comment about how the Pats wide receivers tend to disappear when they leave the Pats for other teams, which is a good point. Okay, Randall Cobb's another example of how he became a stud receiver. What he do in Dallas last year? Not a whole lot. Okay,
he had a decent season.
He had some good. He had some good moments. Right, he had some good moments, but I mean, and there was also Donald Driver and Garrett Jennings. So the quarterbacks, like in New England, are a representation of how good the quarterback is. Okay, and could that also be the situation in Green Bay as to the receivers are a reflection of how good their quarterback is? Possible, because Aaron Rodgers could thread a needle anywhere on the field.
Tell me about it.
That's how accurate that man is. Okay. He's burned the Cowboys, I know, many times, Kenny, I know, but still.
Nice.
All right. So, I mean, that brings up a good point. You can pick up some wide receiver who was number one on a school out of nowhere and bring him into Green Bay, and because Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback, make him a number one wide receiver. It's possible. It's happened. The Patriots are famous for doing that. Okay. So, I mean, and the Hail Marys. Yeah, I know Katie says the Hail Marys.
Yes. Hit a couple of those. Detroit Lions fans.
Yep. So, I mean, that those are good points as well. But
we had an interesting transaction this morning that no one said anything about yet. Jameis Winston to the Saints.
Yes, Trent Williams to the Niners too. Did you see that?
Yes.
Jameis Winston is going to sign a 1-year deal with the New Orleans Saints to back up Drew Brees. Taysom Hill actually got a 2-year extension today too. If you didn't see that, so they're going to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster in New Orleans. But I think that the Trent Williams trade that the Redskins did with the Niners gets him out of Washington, makes him happy, which is good. He's one of the best. He's one of the best linemen in the league. So I mean, it's a good.
Apparently,
it's good
not happy with the Redskins front office at all, and not happy with the coaching situation either. So
correct.
Plus, 49 needed some help in the offensive line, and they got it. It'll be
Well, the more
interesting.
time Jimmy's got to pass, the better off he's going to be much longer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
which leads us to what happens now with Cam still wide open. Now that Cincinnati's got their new quarterback, what happens to Andy Dalton?
well, I
Does Andy
think
Dalton go to New England? Who
I
knows?
don't know. Andy Dalton's a bigger question for me than Cam. I think Cam will find somebody, but
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's a bigger question for me because I don't know if he's going to stay in Cincinnati or if they're going to trade him. I don't. That's an interesting scenario in Cincinnati right now. So
I would have thought Cam would have been a good. And we've talked about this, Cam going to the Chargers, but since the Chargers drafted Herbert from Oregon, who knows now?
well, we thought, yeah, and that's what we thought last week was that Cam was going to the Chargers. It was a good fit for him.
Yeah.
Now they've got their quarterback from Oregon, Herbert.
Yep.
And Miami took Tua, which no one, that was a big discussion leading up to the draft. Were they going to take Tua or were they going to go Herbert instead? But they got their guy. They got Tua. I'm happy for him.
I think Miami had a great draft.
I do too.
Better not sleep on the Dolphins this year because they may give Buffalo a little bit of a challenge. AFC East.
John's like, yeah.
I know he's
sipping the Kool-Aid, man.
Sipping the Kool-Aid.
Sipping the Kool-Aid and sweating bullets.
Yeah, Miami, great. They traded for Matt Breida too, right?
Yeah.
Good.
That makes total sense, but whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. Good for Miami. Who cares? I mean, the Dolphins even have fans. Like, someone tell me that, please. Because I watch their games, and it's usually an empty stadium. It's like Jacksonville gets more people to their games than the Dolphins do. Anyways.
Well, yeah, Dolphins don't have the fan base Buffalo does. Not even close.
They don't, but the ones they do have are pretty adamant, though.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. I mean, they do get crowds in Miami, believe it or not. I mean, they bring in more than the Heat and the Marlins. If you just say that,
that's not saying much, dude.
No, it's not. But they're still the number one attraction in town.
Marlins, yeah.
Are you sure they're the number one attraction in town, or are the Hurricanes the number one attraction in town?
Hurricanes were for a long time.
They're not so much anymore. Outside the students, the fan base has gone down because
your state is such fickle sports fans.
Yes,
man.
we are.
Like, it's just, if they're doing great, it's like, oh, we love the team. As soon as they start sucking, it's like,
yeah. I don't know. Miami, I don't know why they can't find some area in Coral Gables to build a on-campus facility for their football team. I mean, surely there's something somewhere there. I've never been to Coral Gables.
It's in Coral Gables, and I don't know that there's enough. I mean, they used the Orange Bowl when the Orange Bowl was still around. That's where the new that's where the new Marlins team is located, on that same site in Miami. They've been using what I call Joe Robbie Stadium all these years, which is now Hard Rock Stadium. They shared it with Miami for the last, I want to say 20, 25 years.
Something like that.
Actually, Joe Robbie's been there for 30 years, so I want to say the Hurricanes have been there that long too. Because I went to a game at Joe Robbie in '89. That's how long that team has been there. I went to a game in '89 against the Browns.
Even the Marlins played there for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, and just to give you a heads up, Bill's in here. Bill Clark's in here somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. I can't see him in the regular chat, but I did get a mention. He says Miami doesn't have fans for any sport. They go to the beach.
And now they can't even do that.
Right.
Social distancing, buddy.
Hasn't stopped them yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Katie says it's a private university. I know it's got money, but Coral Gables is a lot. I mean, the real estate in Coral Gables is so high. It's almost, I don't know that they can afford a
pretty ritzy part of area. So.
Yes.
But, I once tweeted a question to Michael Irvin about that, and he never responded. So I don't know. He's Michael Irvin. Well, he's usually pretty open about responding to his tweets if it's not criticism or anything. So
right.
It was a decent. I thought it was a decent on spot question, and so I don't know. It's no one involved with the University of Miami has ever said anything about it. So I don't know.
And Bernie Kosar's an alum too, and I haven't heard him say anything about it. So
right.
You know, and I follow Bernie Kosar on Twitter, and I haven't heard him say anything about it. I mean, he preaches U of M all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
if they could get a 40 to 50,000 seat stadium somewhere, a lot closer than what Fort Lauderdale is,
right?
I think they could, fill it up pretty quick and be a powerhouse again. Who knows? They're on the precipice. They're not there yet, but they're on the precipice of being a contender again.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they've got the coaching staff they need now, but I don't see them.
Yeah, Katie asked if all the beaches voted. Okay, not all the beaches in Florida have reopened. I mean, Jacksonville has reopened their beaches. That's all I know at this point. We haven't opened any on the West Coast. Clearwater Beach is not open. All the way down to St. Pete Beach. None of that's open yet. I don't think Miami Beach is open yet either. Just some idiot governors or idiot mayors are opening here and there. Georgia's going to totally open again sometime next week, I thought, from what I understand, which is stupid. But for the most part, we're still hunkered down here in Florida. We're not opening. The gates are not opening at this point in Florida, despite the idiot governor that we have down here. So. As far as Miami goes, they evidently they're happy with their deal at Hard Rock Stadium because they haven't left, and I don't think that again the real estate in Coral Gables is so high they can't afford to build one. If they don't have enough room on campus, then it's not worth the try to build one.
That's what I kind of figured, but I didn't know for sure. But I was just kind of wondering. I knew it was pretty high dollar, but
yeah, it is. It is. So I'm looking at history of undrafted free agents in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Some names that as far as wide receivers are concerned. Rod Smith of the Broncos was an undrafted free agent.
Okay.
Wes Welker of the Patriots was an undrafted free agent as well. There you go, back to the Patriots connection.
Another position receiver.
And that's the only couple of names as far as wide receiver. Well, I take that back. Herm Edwards was also an undrafted free agent as well. If you remember, he played for the Eagles.
Yeah, he was a defensive back though. He wasn't a receiver.
He was a wide receiver in college.
At Cal?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't remember seeing him play at Cal. I know he played there, but I don't remember seeing him play.
As far as the site of SB Nation says he was a wide receiver coming out of college. He ended up being a defensive back, yes.
Yeah.
But he was a wide receiver coming out of college. Drew Pearson is another one. That's a huge one.
Drew Pearson's a huge one.
Why he's not in the Hall of Fame, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have no clue. Because you and I know you and I have that in common is that Roger Staubach led Cowboys team, who was one of my favorites back in the 70s, early 80s, even after Roger retired.
Right.
And Drew Pearson was one of my favorite receivers of all time. I love him.
He had at least 3 or 4 great seasons after Roger retired. But
yes. Danny White wasn't a bad quarterback for Dallas. They just couldn't get over the top.
No.
Because if you remember, against San Francisco in the 81 NFC Championship game, the catch game, they had like 58 seconds or something like that to drive the ball down the field. And if not for a last-minute tackle on Drew Pearson, the Cowboys would have won that game.
Cowboys would have won the game and gone to the Super Bowl.
Correct. And Danny White was the quarterback of that team.
In fact, after the 49ers, they threw an incomplete pass on 4th down. They turned the ball back over.
Right.
And with time left on the clock, Joe Montana takes a snap and runs out of the back of the end zone.
Yep.
Well, guess what? That's a 1-point game at that point. And if he runs out into safety with time still on the clock, Cowboys win that way too.
Yeah,
so,
correct.
They were going to bound and determine that the 49ers are going to win that game.
Yeah. Yes, John, we're old. Yes, I agree. I know we are.
Yeah,
Like every time you guys start with your stories, it feels like Al Bundy, like in Married with Children. Like, oh, I was a state champion back in 19.
Yeah, I know. This is all before you were born.
Yeah.
I know you were born in what? No, you were born in 77, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so you were 5 years old at this point. So I mean,
5 years old. So you know what I was doing at 5 years old? I was discovering what kind of private parts I had. At 5 years old. I mean, like, jeez. These guys and their stories about stuff that, like, no one was alive for. He had smoke signals to call the plays.
We're part of that championship season generation. What can I say?
You know what I remember? The Dallas theme song. That's what I remember. Like the show Dallas. The show Dallas.
Theme song from Dallas.
And just the overhead view of the stadium. Like that's what I remember back then.
There were two myths about the hole in the stadium in Dallas. Okay, the first one was so that God could watch his favorite team. That was the first reason why there was a hole in Texas Stadium. The second one is that so that Too Tall Jones wouldn't hit his head on the roof. That was the second one.
Again,
you don't know who Too Tall Jones is. I know.
No idea. No.
Ed Too Tall Jones. He's a Hall of Fame defensive lineman. You wouldn't know. It's okay.
Yeah, who shot JR? Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, okay.
And this is what's funny. It's like growing up, I basically watched like sports, but I never watched like old sports, like and then my son is born and becomes this savant when it comes to like hockey trivia. Like you ask him like who scored the winning goal of the 1942 Stanley Cup final, he'll tell you. He'll tell you. He'll know it all. He'll know where it passed, where it came from, everything. Me, I'm just like, dude, like I forget what happened last Sunday.
Katie says she has never heard of Ed Too Tall Jones. How old are we, Katie?
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ed Too Tall Jones, yes.
Yeah, guys. This is
Doomsday
what's on my
defense in
memory.
Dallas.
Okay, right here.
Yeah,
This is what's important history, not Too Tall Jones. This is important history.
Speaking of the Toronto Raptors,
yes,
the NBA has okayed facilities to be opened up for activities so long as their local governments say it's okay.
Right.
And that's like, I think as of May 1st or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, nothing bad's going to happen there at all.
No.
Nothing bad at all.
No, of course not.
Unbelievable.
No. The quicker this stuff ends, it's like, and then you're right into election crap. It's like we can't get a break from stupid people and stupid news and stupidity. It's just everywhere. I need to shut off everything. I'm canceling cable. I'm not even going to watch sports. I'm just going to go on Twitter. If it's not streaming, on the Zone or one of these streaming channels.
Eliana says she started becoming a Raptors fan because by influence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Thank you. Very good.
Shut up, Jen. No, I don't.
Very good year. 81's a very good
year. 81. God, Katie.
That's a very good year. I was 4.
I was 15 in 1981. Thank you very much.
Senior in college.
Ken's older than I am, guys. Just want to say Ken is older
than
I am.
I don't know. The shirt and the hat make him look a whole lot younger than you there.
It's the gray beard, isn't it, John? It's the gray beard that makes me look so old.
No. Gray is whatever. Dude, like this is so random. You're going to laugh here. Maybe you're not. You're probably going to cringe if I start talking about this. I don't know how I came across this today. There was a link, and it was a new song. Wait for it, by New Kids on the Block.
Oh,
now
God.
I know this is a bit much. I clicked it. Listen. For the record, I still think New Kids on the Block could sing. Okay, I think they could. They were very poppy, but
you're gonna go along the lines of Django with Backstreet Boys, aren't you?
No, because I wasn't a teenager. Like it was just like whatever, right? Like the girls like New Kids on the Block when I was growing up, and please don't go, girl. Like as soon as that song came on, you like try to find a slow dance, whatever. I clicked the link. Every single one of them, first of all, they're 85 years old now. They had Boys to Men were also in the video.
Right.
All of them are just graybeards.
Yep.
Well,
have you seen Deion Sanders lately? Come on, you seen the beard?
Oh, Deion Sanders is just Santa Claus.
It's like out to here. It looks like Santa Claus. It looks like a black Santa Claus.
Dude, it's just I was like, when the hell did I get so old that the new kids on the block and Boys to Men are grandfathers?
Yes.
Like, when did this happen? When someone explained, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I turned 43.
Deion Sanders looks like Eddie
happy
Murphy
birthday,
in that.
John. By the way.
Oh, thanks.
Deion Sanders looks like Eddie Murphy in that barbershop.
Yes, exactly. From Coming to America. Yes.
Coming to America. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, Coming to America is coming back or something. They're doing it all.
They're doing a sequel. Yes, they are.
Good.
I've heard.
I really want the Big Mick from McDowell's.
Let's see if John Amos could reprise his role. John Amos could reprise his role as the dad. You never know.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is.
Is he? Oh,
Yes.
man. Oh, that'd be great, man.
John Amos is still alive. He's done a stint as the and he actually had a really good role in West Wing when he was
all of them are still alive because James Earl Jones is still around too.
Yes, he is.
So hell yeah, man. Yeah, I like it. Let's do a remake or something.
Well, and
yeah,
I always remember one of the funniest parts of that movie is when they went by and they saw the two old guys from Trading Places and Eddie Murphy gave them a sack of money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mortimer, we're back.
Mortimer, we're back. Dude, that movie was just classic, man.
Yes.
There's so many perfect bits in that, man. Just great.
I don't know, Katie. I don't know the details on the new movie, but it's gonna, as long as Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall in it, I'm all into it. So it's all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that'd be cool. Having John Amos and James Earl Jones back. That would be.
Yeah,
that'd be the cherry on top, man.
Who was it that played John Amos's daughter in that? Because it was the one
I can't remember the actress name. I don't know.
I can't remember either. I'm sure she's still around too.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Anyways. Hi.
That movie was 88.
88. Good year. I was 11.
You were 11 years old, John.
I was. So I didn't understand your royal penis is clean, sire. I didn't get that joke until many years later. But yeah. Oh no, actually, yeah. Never mind. Oh, I got jokes. Anyways, I'm gonna remember this show is PG, and we need to make sure that it's nice for all.
Yeah. Right. Better watch ourselves.
Yeah.
The lady's name is Garcelle Bouvier.
No. That Garcelle Beauvais is one of the flower girls.
It's Rose. It's a Roseberry. I'm sorry, you're right.
Roseberry.
I'm on IMDb, and they're doing it by. The movie. They're not doing it by. They're not doing it by.
Yeah, no. Garcelle Beauvais is one of the flower girls.
Hang on.
Ask me how I know that.
How do you know that, John?
She just anyways.
Don't even want to know.
This is oh my gosh, dude, it's not that hard. I'll be Coming to America. You are the worst for finding stuff.
Is it Allison Dean?
Probably.
Patrice
that
McDowell?
sounds right.
Was that Patrice McDowell, or was it Lisa? Maybe it was Sherry Headley.
I'll tell you right now.
Sherry Headley, I think, is the one you're looking for. Maybe wasn't Lisa the one that he felt? Yeah,
it was Lisa. Lisa's the one that he fell in love with.
Yeah, Sherry Headley is the name of the.
Yeah, Sherry Headley. That's
Sherry Headley.
Yeah.
Louis Anderson was in that movie too, if you remember correctly.
Louis Anderson
was in that movie too. Yes.
Yeah. Lots of people were in that movie.
Yep.
I mean, just
Cuba Gooding Jr. was in
Cuba. Yeah, he was a boy at that point,
getting his hair cut in the shop.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And as far as Coming to America, the sequel.
This is what we do. So Samuel L. Jackson, yeah, he was in the in McDowell's. He was.
It's scheduled to be released this year. Okay.
Is it?
Yes, scheduled for. It's in post-production right now.
Wow, there you go.
And announced Beverly Hills Cop 4. Just like Lethal Weapon 5.
Jeez, dude. Thank you. Yes, Katie, you want to know why? because I've got a talent that Scott lacks. It has to do with old age.
Well, more than one, but we won't go into that, okay?
Yeah.
I just work here.
I know, right?
Yeah, sorry for being late.
You having issues with CTP or with Hive?
No. So it's a fun story. We always do story time here at the Sports Search Show.
Yes.
So I'm Mountain Time, so it's 5:00 instead of 7 when we do the show.
Correct.
So I'm kind of working, doing some stuff, this afternoon around 3:00, and my wife sends a text because she's upstairs and I'm downstairs. She's like, "Can you come get your son?" So I go and get my kid, and I assume she just wanted me to change his diaper, but he comes downstairs and he's just like kind of doing this stuff, like just ready to knock out. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just lay him down in the bed and, put him to sleep. Well, guess what I did in my old age? I fell asleep right alongside him. So something, I don't know what it was, but something told me, hey, just get up. And I look, and it was 4:57. so
3 minutes
it's
to 5.
3 minutes before I was supposed to go live. And Scott's like tweeted me, are you coming? I say, nope. And I sent a note. I just like, dude, this is what I get to look forward to, you guys are experts in this old age stuff. So is this what I have to these afternoon naps, or is
naps
this
will be a regular occurrence? Yes, sir. I took one myself today. Yes, it will be a regular occurrence for you. Yes.
What you have to do is remember when you're like 5 years old, your son's aged a little bit less, and remember all the times you protested nap time in the afternoon. Then apologize for that.
Right.
I totally apologize for all the times I protested nap time when I was a kid.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. He'll go to sleep, but I totally get it. You reap what you sow, right? With this whole fatherhood thing.
Yeah, Brett's bashing Tom Brady, which we all love to do. We haven't gotten to that subject yet because I want to get to that as far as the Buccaneers are concerned.
No. Let's just have a Tom Brady less week. Can we?
No, I'm actually talking about the other player that picked up this week in a trade with the Patriots.
Who? Gronk.
Well,
I hate them a little bit less.
The gang is back together, and I'm not happy about it because now it makes me freaking have to root for both Brady and Gronk because they're on my second team.
Dude, they're not on the Patriots.
Good
luck to them.
That's fine.
Have fun.
I don't think it's going to make a difference because New Orleans is the best team in that division. I don't think it's going to do them any good. I'm just saying.
I don't see him being challenged this year, but
it's true. But this is the Bucs have got a freaking offense, man.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yes,
who's your running back though?
You know what? I don't even know who they're running.
As soon as you say the name, I'll know it. But he's not like a top tier guy. Why wouldn't Fournette go there? That'd be a great plug and play.
Oh, there you go.
Ronald Jones II is our number one running back. Yes.
This is me going.
They picked up Keshawn Vaughn from Vanderbilt in the draft this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that and again, not a Brady guy, obviously.
No.
But him throwing it to his options.
Mike Evans. Godwin.
Gronk. Or take out Gronk and put in
one of the other two tight ends I got.
One of the other tight ends, like O.J. Howard.
So
that's a freaking offense, man.
It is. Now,
so,
and you know what?
As much as I think Michael Thomas is the greatest receiver in the league right now. I think he's amazing. I think Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, guaranteed. That's still 3 really big threats.
Yes, I agree.
Massive threats.
Plus, their defense did step it up the second half of the season last year. So, I mean,
we'll see.
It's going to be an interesting race in the NFC South. And yes, I will root for the Bucs there. I'm on record. If they do well, I will root for them. I've been rooting for them since I moved to Tampa in 1997. So I will do it. So it's been,
Brett and Katie just said shady there.
Shady. You know what? That's not a bad ad either.
He's taken a step back,
yeah,
but he's still shady.
He's still shady. Yep. He can still catch the ball in the backfield.
Yeah, and he still has that cut on a dime.
Yes,
literally.
He does.
He'll go 10 feet that way.
Yes. Agreed.
So,
but yes, I'm sorry Elliot's not here to humor me and get on me, but yes, I will be rooting for the Buccaneers if they do well this year, as opposed to maybe what the Browns are going to do. So
as long as it's not the Patriots,
you know what, and that's all that matters. I mean,
as long as it's not the Patriots and the Dolphins, I don't want to hear the Dolphins love. I hate the Dolphins too.
Or the Jets.
And the Jets fans are just like, they live in their own world. Like they're just so out there. I'm just glad. Go Brady. Go Brady. You do your thing, buddy.
Yeah, and Brett brings up that he ended actually walking into the wrong house this past week.
Yes.
It's old age. It's old age. I feel the effects of it myself.
New to the neighborhood.
The situation was that their offensive coordinator, our offensive coordinator in Tampa is, what is his name? He was a quarterback in the NFL for long.
Vinny Testaverde. I don't know.
No.
Who is it? I've had amnesia all weekend long. So
hang on. Byron Leftwich is the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, and his house looks exactly like.
I guess the houses are next to each other, and they both look exactly the same. And Brady went into the other house as opposed to going to Leftwich's house to pick up the offensive playbook.
Yeah,
and that's what happened.
Isn't he still living in Jeter's house?
Yes. He was busted 2 weeks ago for being in a public park during the quarantine.
That's a troublemaker, man.
Okay. So.
Oh, Katie, yeah, then it'll just be like, of course, it's like my luck, right? If that happens, though, it'd be awesome. Bucks and Bills, I'll go down to Florida, man. I'll make the commitment right now.
That's at Raymond James Stadium next year, so
I'll go sit there and throw eggs at Scott.
I got a couch you can lay on if you want, John. It's all good. If you want to come down here and stay with me that weekend, it's fine.
Oh yeah, man, it'd be great.
I can see TB12 logos all over the place now.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get a tattoo right on his left cheek.
Yes.
Yeah. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Right.
I don't know if you guys follow her on Twitter, but Katie Nolan has just been having a fit the last couple of weeks. Katie is a diehard Patriots fan, and she has just been losing her shit the last 2 weeks. With first when Brady came down here, and then when Gronk came down, she's been losing her shit, and people have been just giving her shit right back, and it's hilarious to watch. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it's fun to watch. It really is. She's an ESPN employee, and she's been on podcasts and video logs, whatever, but with the beer in her hand, just drinking because she's not happy at all.
But ESPN's getting ready to maybe lay off another few people. Hope she's not going to be one of them, but I'm beginning to wonder.
I don't know. I don't know what ESPN's going to do, but there's no sports to talk about. So what are you going to do?
Sports to talk about, and everyone else is furloughed.
The biggest thing coming up, the biggest thing for ESPN in the last month has been the draft.
Right.
Now the draft's over. What are you going to do?
Draft's over.
So
we don't know when anything's going to start back up.
Oh, it's insanity. It's crazy. It's like I got away from cable TV to get away from the Looney Tunes, and it's like they're just as bad on Twitter, if not worse.
Twitter's a shit show, but you know what? It's entertaining.
So is Facebook. Man. It's just these
Facebook
people,
is too. Yeah, Facebook is just as big as shit show.
Imagine if they got paid. Imagine if they put the same effort into, like, I don't know, an online business, that they do on political rants and stupidity. Like, it's mind-blowing.
I have stayed away from political rants the last couple of weeks because I'm just getting tired of it. It's both sides. It's not just one side or the other.
It's both sides.
Yes.
It's both sides.
It's
insane.
It's just insane.
Yeah, Jen. We didn't even talk about that, right? Like this time last week, if people were posting on Hive, it was only worth 10 cents each. Now it's up to 91 cents each.
I did see that.
Right.
Wow.
Imagine if people posted on Hive all of this stuff. I've only been saying it for, 3 years.
God love the blockchain.
Just killing me. Killing me. But this is the thing. This is the thing, Jen. You could go on there and be as political as you want, but you're going to get paid for it.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a drink. Right back.
That's the kicker.
Yep.
So if you're going to put all that anger and frustration out on social media, you might as well get paid for it.
Might as well.
That's what I don't get. And it's like beating a dead horse. I'm not even going to get into it because people it is energy consuming, Eliana. It's just, yeah, $20 on a post, you know.
I know it's more and more people that have channels on YouTube are now taking out it's something on Patreon, and
Right.
I'm not familiar with Patreon that much, but I know it's people who want to subsidize them and chip in.
Well, let's be brutally honest. YouTube's not paying you nothing. I mean,
no.
You've got to be like a social media influencer to get onto the shares of their revenue sharing.
Exactly.
So you need a minimum of at least 10,000 subscribers. You need like a minimum of like 1 million views of your videos. It's like the average person's not going to have that, right? They're not, but they still want to share their, so Patreon fits a need because Patreon, me and Jen are parts of Patreon, right? Like, I mean, that being said, Jen is my only supporter on Patreon. And I think I'm like one of Jen's only supporters on Patreon too. So it kind of cancels us out. But
is
that allows people to open it up.
Is Patreon a Canadian business or is it American?
I think it's American, pretty sure. But it's really popular. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, this is the thing. And I'm very pro blockchain, so I'm going to talk blockchain always. Our blockchain just invented this little tip feature. So it works the same way as Patreon. With Patreon, you subscribe to someone. So you say, I want to support this person and, $5 a month or whatever for the content they're putting out. Well, now with our blockchain, you can actually tip people. There's a little tiny button on the bottom of every post that you can tip people. So this is where we're going. We're going where you don't need to be the 20-something-year-old lady showing some skin. You don't need to be the Gary Vaynerchuk. You don't need to be these big, huge names. You can just build a community of people. What I've been trying to tell Scott to do for the past,
10 years.
Just build a small community. You don't need thousands of people. You get 10 people, 20 people that support you and that to support the community. Sky's the limit, man.
Yeah. A couple of things that Brett brought up. You go back to sports real quick, is that Joe Staley retired today from the Niners. And also the Eagles acquired Marquise Goodwin from the Niners. So they've bolstered up their wide receiver core. They already got a great wide receiver core, and then just added another good piece to it.
Love Flash, man.
Yeah.
They got a big one they got a real good one from TCU.
They got a good receiver at TCU. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This is the Eagles, right?
Yeah, Eagles.
Eagles, right? Yeah.
Jalen Reagor. I'm not looking forward to.
It seemed like the Eagles fans weren't happy with that pick. I don't know why.
They're crazy because Reagor I've seen him since high school. His high school coach is actually John Kitna.
Okay.
The Waxahachie. Reagor is a great punt returner. He's a great possession receiver. He's a great deep receiver. I don't know he's going to be number one right away, but he's going to be a contender for some big balls.
And as far as other players of note, Michael Pittman Jr., who is the son of Michael Pittman, who was the running back for the Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl, also was drafted. I want to say it was the Lions. I'm not sure who got him, but I know
it was. Seems like it was.
But he was drafted. And Moss from LSU got drafted by the Redskins, who was Randy Moss's nephew.
Randy Moss.
Dude. I make fun of you guys being old. I'm old now too, man. Listen to this kid.
When you got Michael Pittman's son entering the NFL and Randy Moss's nephew running the NFL.
Dude, it's like you guys don't. Maybe you'll remember this guy.
Right, Katie.
He was a running back for St. Louis when the Rams were still in St. Louis. Trey. What? You guys ring a bell?
No.
About 5, 6, 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Yeah.
One of the running backs.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll find it right now.
Yeah, Brett, we talked about Trent Williams and
Trey
Winston
Mason.
at the top of the show.
Trey Mason. Yeah.
If you'd have been here at 7 o'clock, you would have saw it. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, Brett, timing is beautiful, man. You had no excuse because I was having a nap with my kid, so I was here on time.
We were late. Yeah, he was late. That's all right.
Yeah.
We started a little late. That's all right, though.
Yeah, this is funny, Katie, because we're going hip hop now. We're gonna go hip hop. So this Trey Mason kid, right? He had a decent start to his career in the NFL, and then he went to the CFL. But this is how old I am. You guys might not know this if I say this group, but Trey Mason is Maceo's son. Who's Maceo? Maceo is from De La Soul. De La Soul was like one of my favorite hip hop groups growing up, and this is like basically dudes that like raised me.
Is this 90s hip hop? Is this like 90s hip hop?
90s hip hop, yeah, like a Tribe Called Quest. De La Soul was the real, the positive hip hop music of the mid 90s.
They did one with Gorillaz.
Yes, they did songs with Gorillaz too. Yeah. So Maceo is one of the members of De La Soul, and I'm sitting there, and they're like, Trey Mason is Maceo's son. I'm like,
what?
Wait a minute. Maceo, and Trey Mason is Maceo. Dude, I'm so getting, man. This life thing doesn't stop, does it? Well, it doesn't
stop. Tribe Called Quest, as Katie says.
Tribe Called Quest, man. Love Tribe Called Quest.
See, speaking of sons, wasn't Joe Montana's son supposed to be in the draft this year?
I don't know.
Gardner, Montana, something. I think he's from Notre Dame. I think he was a defensive back. And I was thinking he was eligible for the draft this year. And I can't remember his name coming up. I know it didn't come up in the first 3 rounds. And I don't know beyond that. But
he's got sons named Nate and Nick.
May have been Nate. Because I know he was at Notre Dame. He's been at Notre Dame for like the last at least.
He was a walk-on at Notre Dame as a freshman in 2008. So that's when he went to college.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe the other one, then the younger one.
Let's see what Nick's doing. He's 27, so he's not doing much either. He went to University of Washington, where he transferred to Mount San Antonio College. No, he's not doing it. None of Montana's sons are in the NFL at this point. Yeah, no.
Never mind.
That's per Google search and all that stuff. So no, I mean, they got their sons are in their late 20s. So no, it didn't. I mean, no. I mean, which means the oldest was probably probably 30 years old now, because he was in Notre Dame in 2008. So he's probably in his 30s by now. So no.
In the words of Gilda Radner, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So what else is going on? And there's no baseball news that I know of.
Nope.
No hockey news that I can think of.
NBC showed the 2018 and 19 Stanley Cup Finals today.
Oh wow! I've been following. I mean, I've only watched one of the broadcasts, but I've been following because the local Fox sports network here in Florida has been running the Lightning run through the 2003-2004 playoffs as well. They just broadcasted the final game of the first series against the Islanders, which they won, of course. So I mean, I haven't been following that. I've been on a Marvel kick the last couple of days. I've been binge watching all the Marvel movies in order, from starting with Captain America all the way through now, and I've just finished Thor, the second Thor movie, and now I'm going to move into the Winter Soldier's next, and then I got to go to both Guardians movies. So, but that's just what I've been doing. I know I'm wasting my time, John. Go ahead. Keep telling me that. Go ahead.
Not saying a word.
I'm still binge watching YouTube, so finding some people that I follow on there pretty closely.
And then, of course, tonight at 9 o'clock is episodes 3 and 4.
3 and 4 of Last Dance.
The Last Dance with the Bulls.
Still wish I could see that, but still not available.
If do you have Netflix? Do you have Netflix? No. Okay. It's only available on ESPN right now. And it's actually going to be broadcast on ESPN and ESPN2. ESPN is running it unfiltered, meaning there's going to be swear words. So it's going to let the whole thing go. So
ESPN2 is supposed to be showing the clean version.
yes. Hey, Matt. Matt says the Browns and Bills still suck.
Yeah. Hold on, Nosy. Okay, hold on. Okay, listen. You guys in Detroit might think you're above the rest of the teams, but it is the Rust Belt, buddy.
Yes.
And Rust Belt teams need to stick together.
Correct.
So, as a Bills fan, I support the misery that is the Browns organization. As a Browns fan, they support the misery that is the Bills organization.
Correct.
I support the Lions, Nosy. I will root for the Lions.
Yes.
I will cheer for them.
Yes.
I have no vested interest, just like in the AFC North. I have no vested interest
Correct.
if they're going to lose. So to hate on a team that is in the same shitty predicament that your team is in is just wrong.
Actually, the Bills are probably in the best position of the three at this point.
Well, that's because we actually got a GM and a coach that are on the same page.
Correct. Well,
right?
Now the Browns do too, so the future is bright.
The rumor is that the Pagulas are starting to have to fire people and everything because they've got their main income is the sports or it was natural gas.
Well, guess what? Gas prices have dropped down. I bought gas today for $1.73 a gallon today.
Yeah.
I filled my tank up with $20 today. It's the first time I've done that in years.
Yeah, it's insane. It's 50 cents a liter here.
Guess what, Scott?
What?
I paid $1.15 the other day.
I'm not surprised. It's still in the high. It's still
$15 filled my truck.
Yeah. Yeah,
but dude, see,
first time it's done that.
See, Matt, you're gonna start hating on my Browns. You know what?
That Ohio State, anti-Ohio State thing.
He must be a Michigan fan. Is probably what it is.
Yeah, he's a Michigan fan, and he doesn't even go to the school. This is what's just so. So
he's like
stupid.
Me. I didn't go to school either, but I like the Ohio State Buckeyes.
But it's like this allegiance to a school.
Good Lord, Brett! $1.08 in Ohio is what gas is, and oh my gosh! I mean, the oil companies are they're losing their shirts right now.
Yes.
Dude, it is, and this is what me and my wife
you know what? And I don't care because I think it's a beautiful thing. The gas is finally below $2 a gallon.
Well, it's not good. It's really not good if you understand the whole economics of it all.
It's not good for them.
It's good for your pocketbook, but not for the overall economy. And this is going to hurt. It is not. This virus is devastating. It's horrible. It is absolutely disgusting.
It's destroying the economy of every country in the world.
But that's the key. What it's doing, the repercussions of this are going to be felt and people don't get it. People are just like, oh, as soon as they lift the ban, we're going to get back to normal. No, you ain't. Mm-hmm. No, you're not. No one's going to have a job. What are you going to do? You think these little stimulus, little checks you're getting them? You know, they've been spending it on dildos and porn sites. I mean, like, this is the society we live in.
Yeah. Yeah.
People wonder why.
I'm going to pay down my credit card bill, which is the responsible thing to do with it, or maybe go out, and then turn.
But that doesn't stimulate the economy.
No, but in turn, I can use my credit card just to purchase other goods. Is what I'm saying. So I mean.
No, I know. I'm saying, but see, this is the mentality is that I'll take that and I'll and yeah, I'm saying don't have debt for sure.
Right.
But people this is just going to be a disaster, and everybody is just so like. Oh, I can't wait to go back to the beach. It's just like,
it's going to devastate the economy for years to come is what it's going to do.
2 years minimum.
Yes.
Tell you what,
yes.
If you're going back to the beach, bury your head in it.
Yes. Yes. If people don't think that the economy the economies in this world are going to be struggling for at least a couple of years, could be longer after this because things aren't going back to normal. You're not going to all of a sudden have a quarantine one day and then everything back to normal the next day. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a gradual reopening over the course of months, months, and maybe even a year to make sure to get us back to where we were before the virus hit. Okay. I am sitting at home working from home, and I am probably going to be doing that the rest of the year. Think about that. A full-time job, but I would go to an office normally every single day, and there's a chance I could be working from home the rest of the year. We're only in April right now.
Just that little bit, what does that do? Like, I'm not saying that you go and eat at Chipotle every day.
No,
lunch,
and to be honest, my company it services the public sector in their retirement needs. Okay, so we're talking city governments, we're talking schools, we're talking things of that nature. Okay, that is our company is very fortunate in that it's not going to affect us, and we actually may be stronger when we come out the other side, because retirement is what these people are looking for, and to help with their medical bills and retirement expenses, things of that nature. So it's not going to actually hit us as bad as it will the rest of a lot of the other economy. But my thing is, I'm used to going into the office every day, seeing the people I work with, and it's getting to the point where I miss these people. I don't like being from home. I miss the interaction face to face with my fellow employees. Okay. When I get back to work and we're back to normal, I'm going to give each one of those people, all 100 of them, the biggest freaking hug I ever did in my life, because I miss them. I miss the people I work with.
I miss shaking hands with people. I miss hugging people.
Correct.
I miss the interaction with my friends.
Yes.
And
I got a pleasant surprise this week. Okay. For the last few years, the government has been taking my tax refund because of my student loan debt. Okay. I got my first refund in the mail yesterday, because they've been docking my pay and taking money out of my check for the student loans, which in turn, I guess, means I can now get my tax refund every year. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Your student loans are now settled, and you're.
Well, I'm no longer in default, because I'm paying them every 2 weeks. I'm sending them money every 2 weeks from automatically. They're docking my pay every 2 weeks. So
dude, you have student loan? Like, when did you go to school?
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Early 2000s.
I was about to say, like, is that from like 1950 when you
No,
first
it's from 2000 to 2003 or 4, something like that is what it was.
I'm just making fun of your.
And I went to community college and never got a degree out of it too. So
when I was in college in the late 70s and early 80s, there were no such thing as student loans. We had there were a few Pell Grants, and that's about it.
But college wasn't expensive in the 70s, Ken.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't as expensive. Nowhere near as expensive it is now.
College was cheap. College was cheap in the 70s. It was cheap.
It wasn't. Well, it depends on your perspective. It was not cheap, but it was cheap compared to what we have today.
Yes.
I mean, it was you have to remember that, back then, a lot of $200, $300 was quite a bit of money.
Right.
Or tuition concerned. It's now $2,000 or $3,000 today, but
that's like per semester too. It's like $2 or $3 grand a semester.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My sophomore year at the junior college I went to, I think my tuition, I had a scholarship, and my tuition was like, I want to say $45, $50.
Yeah.
That was not quite including books.
And that was per semester, wasn't it?
Per semester, yeah.
Yeah, $45 or $50 a semester.
Yeah.
Is that per class, or is that all your classes?
Well, that's everything, because I had the scholarship. I was a sports editor of the student newspaper, so I had the scholarship, and that was the only scholarship I had in my 5.5 years of school.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, that was the biggest break I had. But there's absolutely no way on earth I could ever go back to college.
Holy crap!
There's no way.
Yeah, $1,500 every 6 weeks for the college you went to in Ohio from Brett.
Yeah,
that's expensive. It's just amazing. Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah. Not including books, and books are expensive.
Books are ridiculously expensive, and I blame the professors for that, because that's an ego trip for them.
Yes,
they're the ones publishing them, and they're getting all kinds of.
Well, I'm sure the schools are getting a kickback from the book publishers
I'm
on
sure
this.
They are, but so are the professors, and they're getting a separate kickback from the schools. So, that's. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you guys got going on this week? Anything special?
I'm planning my move, man. I've been busting.
You got a drop dead date on that yet, John?
It's probably, well, I mean, it's all, dependent on COVID, right? I mean, it's we're kind of in the mercy of the bug.
Correct.
So we're hoping, end of June.
Okay.
That's what we're hoping.
Okay.
And I got my buddy to confirm with me. So he's going to drive the U-Haul out with my kid.
Uh-huh.
So my kid and him are going to be in the U-Haul. My wife and my other two kids are going to be in the car. So we're going to have this whole convoy going out.
Right.
But, it's just, dude, like moving home sucks, but it's a whole lot different when it's across the continent.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to move inside of town and you're stressed out and you still got, but then like planning this and just, I've had to cut so much. Like, Nosey's here. I haven't played Call of Duty in like over a week. Like, yeah. I'm just so freaking busy.
You're moving in with your mom or your dad?
No, it's good. It's my grandparents' house.
House. Okay.
Yeah, my mom's there, but she's probably not even going to be there. So we'll basically have this house and
to yourselves. No mortgage, nothing, because it's a family. It's
well, the house was paid off in like 1950, right? So it's an old house, but that's one of the this is why I'm so animate when I was saying like people think this stuff is just going to be getting back to normal. That's why for me, I told my wife, and this is why we're doing this. It's like we need 2 years of not worrying about rent or mortgage.
Correct.
Right.
And I'm terrified to think of people that. A buddy of ours just bought a brand new house, and it's like, I'm terrified for what's going to happen in the next couple of years here.
Yeah. So the house is actually a family asset, which you don't have to worry about, no mortgage, nothing like that. So it's a good
it's been, and they've owned the land, since, forever. They have its own water source there. Like there's, it's got a well, so you don't even need to worry about city water. Like it's a self-sustained little place.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, my wife and me are just like, sit there for a couple of years. We'll allow to work on my business, get the business back going, and then not worry about all the madness that's going to happen.
Yeah, and you originally thought about you going back to Toronto, but what changed? What brought this on? What
I would never. First of all, I would never go back to Toronto. I love Toronto, but Toronto is the New York of Canada, and I don't want.
So it's expensive to live there. Yes,
I would live to the burbs. I would go to the suburbs or outside of the city.
Yeah.
Basically, first of all, I don't have the money to do it.
Right.
I mean, got to be a millionaire to like buy a home in Southern Ontario now. And where we want to go, we've really got to plan it, like, because we're really not trying to live in cities anymore, man.
Right.
This is just a tip of the iceberg of what we think.
It's going to be a culture shock for your wife, though, isn't it, at this point?
You think?
Yeah.
You go, yeah. It'll be interesting. But Newfoundlanders are a joyful bunch, so it'll be fun. But yeah.
And you got Barry to keep you company if necessary.
Well, yeah, Barry's about an hour and a half away from me, and then I got another guy, another dude that lives, Bradley on the other side. He's about 5 or 6 hours away, but yeah.
Matt says he wishes he can tell a story.
Oh, he's got stories, man. Yeah, he's got stories. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the problem, right, Matt? Is I've kind of left you with Chunky and a couple of other guys, man, and that's it. And now he's got to fend for himself without me there, protecting him. Right, Nose? Get the guns. Oh, we've got the guns, Jen. Don't worry. That's the thing about Newfoundland. Everybody's a hunter there. My grandfather passed away a couple of years ago, left me every single gun he had. Of course, they haven't been shot since like 1920. So, low, but
they might need to be cleaned.
They might be. Yeah.
Matt says, ask him when he came to my house in the fire truck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you'll remember this. Remember, this is probably 10 years ago now, or 8 years ago. And I was having this massive just breakdown, and it was Christmas time, and I just said, you know what? Screw it. I need to be in Toronto for Christmas. I need to be around my family, see my grandma, see my friends, whatever. So I packed up and drove. Now, there's two ways to get from Toronto, from Edmonton to Toronto. You can either go the Canadian route, which is fantastic. You're just dodging moose or trailer trucks on either side of the 2-lane highway. Or you can go through the beautiful interstate system that your country has. So I said, I'm going to go the interstate way.
Oh,
so, big open roads. You can see it's beautiful, beautiful drive. But I'm driving through Michigan. and I drive through Chicago. So two of my really good friends that I game with for decades now is Matt, Nosy, and Chunky. So I stop off in Chicago. I see Chunky. I meet him and his wife, and we go out for dinner and stuff. Then I'm going from Chicago to Michigan. Of course, I drive through the snowstorm of the century, just this freaking massive snowstorm.
What year is this?
It's kind of just around Grand Rapids, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Right? Like kind of sort of around Grand Rapids.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm driving there through this snowstorm of snowstorms. Matt tells me, oh, yeah, okay, so I live at this town. So I get off the interstate and go to the town. It's only about, a couple miles off the interstate. So cool. I'm in the town. He's like, oh, no, you got to keep driving. Mind you, this is a snowstorm. I'm in the middle of Podunk, Michigan. Okay? No one has teeth. Okay, like it's just like first of all, I'm still driving, and it's probably a good 30 minutes from the town. I'm on some little Podunk road going up, and it's still a snowstorm, mind you. I can't see 2 feet in front of me. I pull up to basically the trailer park from hell. Okay, like it's just you picture a trailer park in your mind in the middle of nowhere.
I used to live in one. Yes, I know.
Yeah, and there's Matt
As a
standing
kid.
out smoking a cigarette in the middle of a snowstorm, and I pull up with my red Hummer. So thank God I had the Hummer to get through the friggin' snowstorm.
Right.
Dude, I'm just like, I thought you said this was right off the interstate. It's like, 20 miles. Yeah, 20 miles is not right off the interstate. I don't know where.
So he calls your Hummer a big red fire truck? Is that what it is?
Well, he thinks my Hummer was a big red fire truck. Like, thank God I had my Hummer. I mean, it got about 1 mile per gallon.
Right, yeah.
But still, to get through that, dude, that snowstorm was just on another level of like, it was like, I don't know if you guys know like Michigan weather, but it's lake effect snow. And
Correct.
lake effect snow doesn't go down, it goes across.
Yes.
It goes across.
It's coming at you.
Yes.
Like lines of just.
Northeast Ohio is the same thing off Lake Erie, whereas this was off Lake Michigan. Lake Erie is the same way. It just yeah.
It was like 2 inches. Okay.
It's just
buddy.
2 inches. Yeah, my ass 2 inches.
Yeah, 2 inches a minute.
Yeah,
More
exactly.
Dude, this was okay, I'll give him credit. It was kind of dying down when I finally got to the 20 miles right off the interstate, right? But it's just like, I'm just like, dude, like, where do you live? Like, you actually get internet connection out here? Like, this is the middle of no, and he's just smoking a cigarette, just, come on, let's go play games. Anyways.
About 15 to 20 years ago, I was in a relationship with this girl that lived about 10 miles northwest of Grand Rapids, the GR as we called it.
It's a special place.
The same, I believe, the same storm you're talking about. I actually considered moving up there with her, and she showed me the pictures of the snowdrift just outside her door that was like 7 feet tall. I go, no, maybe not.
Yeah. The funniest
Scott,
thing.
What's
sorry? That, sir?
I said, Scott, you know who lives up there, don't you? Remember Davies?
Well, Davies, D6 live up there as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he lives just outside of Grand Rapids now. So yeah, he's from that area. So yeah. It's exactly.
D6 was another one of those members of the media that you and him got along with. I mean, D6 was like an encyclopedia of football information.
Yes.
Back in the day. I don't know what he's doing or if he's even still around anymore, but
he's still around.
I mean, he was the encyclopedia of football information. It was just amazing with stuff he knows. Yep. Especially Detroit Lions history. Oh my God.
Man.
Detroit
Lions history.
I know all about Michigan weather.
Oh, it's insane, dude. You like it's another level.
Yeah, Brett, take care, buddy. Good to see you. Hey, guys, it's 8:30.
Yeah, man. Let's skedaddle.
Let's heck out of here. I got the Last Dance coming up, but I mean they're broadcasting episode 2 right now. Last Dance at 9:00. So
they play it on Netflix. You don't need to see it live.
Eventually it'll be on Netflix. Yes, you can binge watch it on Netflix. Yes, which I probably will do as well. But still, anyway, guys. Considering we were short 2 guys, it was a great show tonight. We covered everything we needed to cover, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody that came in and showed up tonight as well. John, I'm going to try and just reset myself and see what we can do as far as getting advertising and being more active and stuff like that. I'm just gonna.
Oh, I mean, what better time in history
when everybody's home and in a captured audience, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you. So,
binge watch the sports nerds.
Yes, binge watch the sports nerds.
Yeah, because you can get all the videos of our show on YouTube because I save it to YouTube every week. So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to try and reset myself. I did promise Jen and all the guys in Discord that I would be more active and more available, and I haven't yet to do that. And we're 4 months into the year, so I owe you guys that as much as anything else. So, anyway, yeah, I see your face, John. Thank you very much. I love your brother like you're like your brother from another mother. You know that, but that's beside the point. Because to be honest, I'm bored, guys. I'm bored as freaking hell right now. When I'm done with work, I got nowhere to go. I got nothing to do. I spent $175 at the grocery store yesterday just so I could stock myself up on food yesterday. So I'm good for another week or two at least on food.
That must be nice.
So
Try to feed your family of 4.
But you know what? But it was a credit card, so I still got to pay it back. That's
go.
all right.
Oh yeah.
But still, and it's I have to find the motivation and just find the energy. Build your brand. Yes, thank you, Jen, for that. I appreciate that. Anyway, guys, have a great week. Be safe. It's good seeing you. The Raptors are world champs, of course. I love you guys. As for those watching, the Sports Nerds will be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the same channel on my Facebook page. May the Schwartz be with you. Great movie. And may you all have a great week and be safe. Stay home unless you have to go out. Stay home.
Go watch the new Kids on the Block video.
Yes. Or if you're Django, watch Backstreet Boys. Anyway, on behalf of my best friend John Olson, my buddy Ken Koslow, and the missing items of our missing guys this week for Elliot and Bob who are missing in action this week. We are the Sports Nerds. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.
That was like a 10-minute outro, man. Like, see ya, bye.
And we are out of here. Bye-bye now.
Oh.
So.